I'm Guy Taylor from Threat Status at the Washington Times. We are on the floor of the 2025 Space and Missile Defense Symposium in Huntsville, Alabama. One of the more interesting companies that we've come across this week here is called Davidson, and they're really at the intersection of some of the most futuristic technology, quantum computing, and space and missile defense. And I'm lucky to have Dale Moore, the president and CEO of Davidson. Tell me first, Dale, a little bit about what this company does.
Davidson is an advanced technology firm in the defense space. We focus on national security problems. Our capability set really centers around quantum compute software development and applications, optimization algorithms with classical compute, AI/ML, and how you apply artificial intelligence and machine learning to those problem sets. Cybersecurity is a core competency of the company and a focus of ours. And digital engineering is another component of that, and how you create digital ecosystems that drive across the space. And then lastly, supply chain analytics. So we do a lot of logistics-related supply chain work, and all of that that I just discussed kind of underpins what we do in that world.
Right here we have one of the only quantum computing chips in the world. I know there are a few dozen at this point, but we've got the only one in Alabama. Tell me a little bit about this futuristic space and what is this?
Yeah, so this is a great partnership that Davidson Technologies and D-Wave Systems has put together. So we work with D-Wave as the foundational partner. They developed the quantum platform, and it's a quantum annealing platform, which is very different than some of the technologies you're going to hear about in the quantum space, quantum gate, phased ion applications, things like that. There's a different technology behind how D-Wave does it. And the reason we partner with them is because they have commercially available operational systems in place today. What we ended up doing was bringing their system to our facility in Huntsville to focus on how do we apply quantum applications to the national security space.
Let me come down to just 100 feet. What is quantum computing generally? Yeah. And how is it different from what we have with the internet and regular computing now?
It's a great question, Guy, and I am not a quantum computing expert, but I'll give you my 2 cents. Really, you're talking about quantum physics, and so classical compute is binary, right? It's a 0 or a 1. It can't be both at the same time. With quantum physics and the application of quantum physics and the superpositioning of qubits, you can actually create an environment where you're operating with zeros and ones at the same time. And so it creates a faster response, infinitely faster ideally, can optimize solutions much faster and much better than on some problem sets than your classical technologies that exist today.
Help me unpack the intersection between infinitely faster computing and national security right now, specifically with regard to missile defense.
So the key challenge that we see in the market space today and what we're trying to do from a national security standpoint centers around data. Yeah. You've got very complex systems that are being developed that continue to scale at a level where the type of data and how much data you're having to deal with becomes infinitely and exponentially greater. And so for us, it's really about how do you manage that data as fast as possible and create decision-ready, optimized solutions for the warfighter where they know when they got to make a decision that they have the best data and optimized solutions in front of them. And so we believe quantum will have an application in that space.
So when you're talking about data and something like tracking hypersonic missiles, for instance, and predicting where hypersonic glide missiles might go that are moving at 5 times the speed of sound, we will need computers that can process those calculations at inconceivable speeds. Is that what we're talking about here?
I think that's an accurate statement. So battle management and command and control and the environment that we're in with the threat complexes we deal with, obviously at the speed at which they are moving, becomes very, very difficult. And it's not just about how do you deal with the decision component of the data that you have, but how do you track, sense, and communicate as quickly as possible to actually get a decision in front of somebody that can utilize that data to engage. And so what we do around quantum is really focused on dynamic target assignment. So think about weapon to target assignment when you have multiple threats that you've got to deal with at any given time, and you've got different types of weapon systems to engage those threats. how do you optimize a solution dynamically as things are progressing real time? And so that's a very fast problem set, and it's a very challenging problem set. Again, getting back to the data aspect, how do you fuse the data the right way, and then how do you use it to make a good decision?
And do you think we're there now, or this is really an on the horizon?
I think it's an evolutionary technology. It's a maturing technology. We're not there yet. We are actually getting a lot of interest this week in how can our customers leverage this quantum capability in an exploratory manner, an experimentation manner to show progress against classical compute. So we're going to evolve that and actually get benchmark data that shows the value of quantum versus the challenges associated with classical and some of these very dynamic problem sets.
Dale Moore, President and CEO of Davidson Technologies, thanks for coming on Threat Status.
Guy, it's a pleasure. Thank you.